Alrighty, final stories. Armida, I'm gonna let you go first this time.
Okay, so mine is kind of a combination of good and bad. Well, it was fun, but it was a little annoying. Um, my roommate, and so there was one night where one of my roommates was working, and so it was her boyfriend and my other roommate. The three of us, we were decided to be thick as thieves and just go to Disneyland at night and skip all the shows and just go on rides in like 5 seconds. So my roommate, her favorite ride is Splash Mountain. So
As it should be.
she loves Whitney and Derek are obsessed with Splash Mountain. So we went on and we walked right on because it was the middle of the night and in the middle of like September. So no one's there. So we got on and we went on once and we had a blast and we get off the ride. But before we leave, the cast member says, "Do you want to go again?" And we turned around, we were like, "We can go again." And she was like, "Yeah, just hang out here." So as we're standing on the exit side, on the entrance side is a dad with two kids. And, the kids look miserable as all get out because, we're pushing 10:30 here, people. And so we meet at the log and the dad's like, we're like, "Hey, wherever you want to sit, we're fine." And the dad was like, "No, I'm putting my kids in the front." And he draped them in like 5 layers of like really cheap rain slickers and throws them in the front. Dad's behind them, and then it's my roommate's boyfriend, my other roommate, and me in the very back. I have to sit in the back. I know Sky always sits in the front. I have to sit in the back because I don't want my hair
Okay, I don't choose to. I'm usually forced because my friends don't want to sit in the front. So like, yeah, we'll just use you for it.
I have to sit. I'm a woman of color. My hair can't get wet. I refuse. So I'm sitting in the back and, we start taking off. And the dad is trying to get his kids to get excited, but they're dead. So it was annoying listening to him like try to like hype them up. And we're like, "Oh my gosh, can we just like enjoy the ride, please?" He gives up. He turns around and looks at the three of us and he says like, "So how's your night going? What have you guys been doing?" Trying to hype us up. And we're like, "Oh yeah, no, like we're just hanging out, like we're 3 friends and we're cast members." And he's like, "You guys are cast members?" Meanwhile, we're going up and down like all these hills. He's talking to us the entirety of the ride.
I love that.
Which is like interesting but annoying because we're trying to enjoy the ride, but he's talking to us the entirety of the ride. And we get to the hill, we get to Laughing Place. My roommate's trying to enjoy herself. We get up the hill. The dad turns around and looks at us and he just goes, "Guys, let's all dab for the camera."
Oh my God.
And we look at him, we're like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, let's dab." And I wish maybe I have the picture in my archive somewhere. I'll post it on Instagram when this uploads, but good Lord. It was a lot. And those poor kids, we did. We did it. This guy he just wanted to like have his own fun for so bad. So we were like, "Okay, I guess we'll do it." And he was excited. The kids were miserable.
I don't know if it's worse that you didn't have fun, or the fact that you did dab.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It was interesting for sure. That's why I call it a mix of good and bad, because we definitely made his night for sure. Ours could have been better, but we definitely made his day. And those poor kids were just completely drenched because with four grown adults, that was just not good for the kids. Like those kids layered in these like really fake plastic ponchos was just like, I felt so bad for them.
It's so sad.
And the cast member asked the kids, "Do you want to go again?" They were like, "No."
No. Yeah, I had a really fat guy that was like in our boat, and then it literally flooded. The boat had like shut down due to the weight of the actual car. So we're just like halfway through the ride, just sitting in the middle of the. It was so bad.
That's so sad.
I have a lot of great like getting wet on Splash Mountain stories. Like my friend Aiden, He's like, he's the Sky of the group, and he has to sit in the front. We always put him in the front every time. And I'm insistent. I have to sit in the back. It's always my roommate Whitney and then me in the back. That's how we always have done it. But we went down the first hill, and it was my friend Aiden, Derek, Whitney, and myself, and we're in the boat, and we like go down. We go up that like
Laughing
that
place
dip,
is
right?
horrible.
Mhm.
It's the
Going
worst
into Laughing
one.
Place, we that dip going into Laughing Place. We got that. We land right, and Derek just screams, "I got wet! Aiden, did you get wet?" And Aiden is completely covered head to toe in water, and he just goes, "No." Yeah. Oh, my Splash Mountain fables are just.
All right, Allie, you're up.
Okay, so after Sky told his Toontown tussle story, it reminded me of the time. So I was in DCA with two of my roommates, and we decided to ride Little Mermaid because, like, it's like a really quick ride. You can hang out in the air conditioning for a while. And so we get up to the ride, and there's a cast member standing outside in front of it. And like people went in like right before we did, and then they put up a sign saying that like it was closed. And we were very confused because like it's not really the type of ride that like full on shuts down. Like
Mhm.
it'll slow down when like people need help getting in the cars and stuff, but like it never fully shuts down, and it's never more than a 10-minute wait at the most, especially in January, like late January, early February, whenever it was. And so we're like, okay, that's weird, like we'll come back later, whatever. We asked him like it like is it gonna be up and running later, and he's like, yeah, it probably will, like come back in an hour or two. And we're like, okay. So then we're in the line for, I believe it was Pixar Pal Around. We were sitting in the queue, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I see a video of Ursula with her head
No
falling
way.
off.
That's awesome.
And so literally, like, if we had been there like 3 seconds before, we would have been in there and seen Ursula with her head falling off, but we missed it. But at least like I saw the video.
You've
It was
seen
very
it?
quick. It was very
Of course
quick.
you've seen it.
Wait, so we
Of
were
course
literally
you've seen
there
it.
on the same day?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I go to Disney so often that I see pretty much everything. I've seen
Really?
everything.
That's so
I would've-
funny.
I
would
got
never
to
guessed
see
it,
that
though.
horror story.
So like I saw the video and I was like, oh my god, like that's why we can't go right now. And like obviously by the time we went back over there, it was up and running, so like we didn't get to see it, but I just thought that was really funny. And
every time he goes on that
ride,
every time he goes on that ride, he'll tell me, "Oh, look, her head's on this time."
It's my girlfriend. I have like a really weird thing with Ariel. I like love the character. She's like my favorite.
I know.
Princess.
I like
I know.
Ariel. She used to be my favorite princess, and then Rapunzel came around, and now Rapunzel's
Yeah,
my favorite.
some yeah, it's between the two. All right, Troy.
Okay, so mine has to do with Roger Rabbit again. Horror story. So, not on the same trip, but I went with my parents again, and like they had problems with it before, and they're like, oh, like it's. I forgot what happened. I feel like I had fast passes for it or something, but they were like, "Oh, come back later." Oh no, we were in line. It shut down, and they gave us fast passes for it. That's why. And so we came back later, used the fast passes, and we got in there, and we rode it, and we got to like the science part of it, um, the part where Roger Rabbit gets like electrocuted. That
Yeah.
scene. First of all, I hate that scene. It scares me still
It's
to this
horrifying.
day. Yeah.
The music is terrifying.
Yeah, and it's so loud. But that's where I got stopped. And so I was stuck there for maybe, honestly, it was probably shorter than what I think, but I want to say maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe I was
Oh
in
my
there, that
gosh.
like eerie music, the electrocution going on every like 5 seconds. And then eventually the lights turned on, and I got evacuated off of it, which that was pretty cool to see.
Mhm.
But just that like initial staying stuck there and like possibly the worst part, in my opinion, was not fun.
Mhm.
That sounds terrifying.
It was.
Yeah.
I was just having. I was like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to be in this room. Can we just like go past it and just be done with it?
I
Nope.
always stop.
got
I
stuck.
stop spinning in that room. I'm just like, I can't. I just stop moving. I go into paralytic shock whenever I'm
Yeah,
in
you're
that
just like,
room.
oh no.
I'm like, no. I just want to get out of here. Yeah.
Is it over yet?
Oh, that just reminded me of another story I could have told. About the time I got evac'd off of Soren. That was terrifying.
Did you fall?
No.
Okay, well, it's
but
good.
yeah, no, we didn't fall, but we were stuck up there for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh wow.
It
Gosh.
wasn't my carriage that had issues. It was the one next to me, but like we all had to stay up there because they had to like bring them down at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. We don't have time
Oh
for me
my
to tell that
gosh.
story, but
Hmm.
that one was
Part two.
yeah.
Part two.
Yeah, I can come back for
Part two.
part 2 and tell that story.
All right.
So
Sky.
mine
Instagram
is
stories,
kind
actually.
of like a mix between all of our stories in a way.
Okay.
So it goes all the way back to when Paradise Pier was a thing. Rip Paradise Pier, by the way. I miss her. I honestly like it more than Pixar Pier. I just like the vibes of it more. But so obviously it's Halloween time right now, which is pretty cool. And this story also takes place during their old version of the Halloween party. So I was like 7 years old, and they had like a lot of the treat trails and stuff like that they do now. But this one happened to wrap around the old what was Incredicoaster? I can't think of the name right now.
California
California
Screaming.
Screaming, right. So it was like wrapped through California Screaming, and it would go through the pier and stuff like that. And I had a really, really bad allergic reaction on the pier to one of like the food that they were selling, and I didn't know at the time. I was just like, "Ooh, candy, yummy!" So I would eat anything. And my heart stopped on the pier. So we had an entire like fire and rescue crew come in. Paramedics like surrounded the entirety of Paradise Pier. And they had to spend like 20 minutes trying to resuscitate me.
Oh my
And it was a lot. I was fine. They got me to a place that I would just be okay in general. But I actually, going back to your like weird goofy fetish thingy that you guys were talking about with the women on Main Street, I got a Goofy plushie as a reward for not dying at Disneyland.
They gave
Wait,
you
no.
a reward for not dying.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't really want this as a lawsuit, so we're just gonna give you this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I got this Goofy doll that I had for many, many years.
So what you're saying is that you also have a goofy thing.
I mean,
I'm done.
there's a lot I could say right now, but this is a PG
No.
show. But yeah, it was
Wait, so-
crazy.
But like you did die if your heart stopped, right?
Like, were
You
you
died at
legally
Disney.
dead?
Yeah.
I wasn't legally dead. I was
Oh.
just, yeah, it was not good. I technically, I'm surprised I wasn't rushed to the hospital due to the severity of what was happening. But no, I was okay, which is good.
No offense to those people, but like how many people can say that that has happened to them at like Disney? You know what I mean?
Not many.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I want to say it's kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't wanna go with
I
that.
want to
No
say it's
offense.
kind of cool that you like could have died at Disney.
I won't
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, but-
That's a Six Flags vibe, not really a Disney
yeah,
vibe.
Six
Yeah.
Flags, not Disney.
My friend Derek says to me, you should always be prepared to die at Six Flags.
I wouldn't be
Like, you
surprised.
should always prepare for death.
Especially the one out here. Magic
Mhm.
Mountain is disgusting. I went a couple months ago with a friend and it just smelled like urine everywhere. It was so gross. It smelled
no.
everywhere. The queue, like wait time things were never accurate. Like just the
Mhm.
entire time I was there, I was thinking like, wouldn't be like this at Disney.
Like,
Mm.
I was
hate
there.
being that person, but it wouldn't.
I was at Six Flags in Massachusetts a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, and yeah, it was interesting. I almost had a heat stroke. There was an excessive heat warning. It was not
Oh
fun.
no.
Most of it is like, you know how Animal Kingdom is just out there in the sun.
Yeah.
Whew, Animal Kingdom is a lot.
It was like that. Um, and I was dehydrated and kind of delirious, and but I gained consciousness in time to go to the Wonder Woman statue and take a picture. But that was pretty much it. Like and that's when my friend was like, yeah, you should be prepared to lose your life at Six Flags, because also I would definitely get physically ill on every roller coaster there. Like definitely.
So
Yeah, the
before
rides
we
are
get
crazy
out
there.
of here, I want to do zero to hero. So since you are our guest, Ali, I'm gonna let you go first. What was your zero and your hero for not only this week but in general? Because this is your first time on.
Mhm.
Well, my zero for this week has just like I've been not in the greatest place right now just because like so I work in the television industry and I'm in between jobs right now. So I'm about like 4 or 5 weeks into my, in between time. And I'm just at that point now where like I get very like sad and like
Mhm.
down about like how I haven't gotten another job yet.
Mhm.
It's just like a thing I have to get through. I don't really want to like bring everyone down with that.
Yeah.
Um, but I think my hero was definitely hanging out with you last night and watching a Harry Potter musical because
Yes, that was so
I
much
haven't watched it in
fun.
a couple of years, and it was really nice to just, hang out and get to do
We
that.
geeked out. She and I geeked out really hard last night. For those of you
Literally
who
the
don't know,
entire time. Like,
yeah, I mentioned this last week on the podcast, but I cosplay Draco Malfoy now, specifically from a Harry Potter musical, and so I hosted a senior stream last night in which I had Ali and Sky on with me. Poor Sky tapped out about halfway through because he wasn't feeling well, but yeah, no, it was so fun to have Ali there because I know she and I are both like really big Star Kid. I'm more of a closeted Star Kid fan, and she's
I
more
am
of
a
a
very
blatant
much
one.
out Star Kid fan.
She's an out Star Kid fan. So it was a lot of fun to kind of like reconnect with that part of me from my like teen years that I loved so much. And it was, oh my gosh, that show was so funny.
It's so
It did
funny. It's
drag
such
on
a
a bit at the
classic.
middle, but like that ending after Voldemort's going down was like chef's kiss. It got
Yeah.
so funny from there all the way to the end. And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
So
my
that
zero
was
to
fun.
hero.
All right, Troy, go ahead. What's your zero to hero?
Um, Good question. I don't know. I don't have zero. Like, I don't know. I've just been kind of like mellow this whole like week
Mhm.
and whatnot. Like nothing bad or like has happened. Um, but so that's my zero. I have nothing prepared. But my hero is that I went to downtown Disney yesterday, which was really fun. Yeah, I went to Splitsville, had lunch there. I didn't go bowling.
Ooh.
And ironically, Johnny, who's been on the podcast,
Mhm.
he was like, he messaged me and he was like, "Hey, like I'm on my way over there." Like he was going there regardless, but he was like, "Oh, like I'm on my way over there right now." I was like, "No way, let me know when you like get here." And
Mhm.
it was so weird because it's like I've only talked to him through like, social media or like text messaging and whatnot. So to like see him in real life was like so weird to me, and it makes me more excited to like meet you guys in person and to meet all the other people that I've met in person. Um, but yeah,
It's gonna
that's
be
mine.
Love
crazy
that for
when we
you.
have that 4 days when you come down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yes.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Amita.
All right. My zero, I would think, so interesting fun fact about September 25th is that apparently like 15 people are getting married in my area on September 25th. And I work in the wedding industry. So that just means I'm pulling my hair out for the next couple of days. Um, so it's a lot. Like I have been swamped at work for days and I come home tired and I come home like really frustrated and I'm very grateful to Sky who puts up with me when I'm like that, because it was just not like I would just come home exhausted and like all stressed out this week. But that being said, my hero is that, through all of this stress, like I have found ways to have fun. Like I have these amazing friends. I'm in a great relationship. I'm like starting new cosplays. I got back into Jessica Rabbit this week, which I
Yeah, it
haven't
looks
done
really good.
Yeah, it looks
since
so good.
I haven't done since February, because I've been like
I'm
really
so glad I
self-conscious about
suggested
it.
it.
Yeah, I literally was like, I hate that costume because it's so itchy. And also I've just always felt like she's like the exact opposite of me. But I got into it and I had fun, and I like played with the old Hollywood vibes, which is like that's kind of the avenue of the character that I finally feel like I'm comfortable in. So I could probably do more with her because I've now found that niche. And so yeah, it was fun. I got to recreate some old videos that I've done, and with more precision and better lighting. So now I'm like, oh wait, this content's actually really good. Yeah,
I
it's
was
still
thinking
Hispanic
about
Heritage Month,
this.
so yeah.
So like, you're coming down for Dapper Day.
Uh-huh.
You should bring the costume, and we could take it to the old Hollywood part of DCA.
Oh,
That'd be
and
cool.
you
I
could
think-
do like some TikToks or whatever. I don't know.
I think I would do a dapper version of that, because
That'd be
this
really cool
costume,
too. Well,
that'd be
yeah,
better.
I mean, it is really itchy and stuff like that. So I'm
It's
not really
itchy
surprised.
and it's revealing, and I feel like I would be uncomfy in like
That's
public with that.
Mhm.
And it's also that corset does not stay up, and it also suffocates me at the same time. So it would be fun. I would love to do like maybe a dapper version of that, but I know we have like ideas planned already. We're thinking about doing Haunted Mansion and Carl and Ellie. That's gonna be cute.
That'll be fun, yeah.
That's gonna be fun. Also, we're still deciding if we're gonna do 2 or 3 days in the park as well. So we will see what happens.
I mean, I'm good either way. I have a pass. I'm fine.
Yeah, I know. And like, I'm the only one who has to decide that, because I could just say like, hey, I'm going to do a 3rd day, and he'll be like, okay, reserve.
Yeah.
That's it. So
of course, there's a bunch of other stuff we could do, but it's up to you.
Yeah. We have a lot of options.
So for mine, my 0 was I got food poisoning at the Flo's V8 Cafe at Disneyland.
Oh,
I could have told you that was going to happen.
I whenever I go there, I always get really, really sick. Their food and their menu is disgusting. So if you guys ever go to Flo's, just don't do it. Just save yourselves. And
I've
just
only
The old
been
menu
there
was
once, and I
better.
just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it was just a lot. And I left the park, and I went to bed. And I woke up like at 3 o'clock in the morning, like puking everywhere. And it was just really, really bad. And then I had to go to work at 6 a.m. the same day. So I was exhausted my entire shift. So it was not fun.
Oh my gosh.
But my hero, honestly, like, I don't know, this week's been really, really good. I have a lot, honestly, like, there's so much like amazing things that's happening with the podcast right now, and I'm just really, really happy with it. And I'm just glad that I have you guys to hang out with and create memories with. So yeah, but other than that, I'm just chilling.
We're just chilling.
It's just a vibe. It's always a vibe. And I'm half asleep. I'm really, really tired right now as we're recording this. So if I drag, I'm sorry.
I napped before this, and I almost missed the start time of the podcast. I literally got a call from Sky. Like, my phone went off, and I was like, hello. And he was like, get up.
But yeah, is there anything else? No.
Are we
I
good?
don't think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Allie, where can they find you?
So my TikTok is turtle ducks with a Z. My Instagram is arucky25 or ARUCHY 25. Yeah, that's about it. I have a website. It's just my name, allieruckman.com, for like my portfolio and stuff. But
Cool.
yeah, Instagram and TikTok are the best places to find me.
Sweet.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. This is really,
Thank you
really
for
fun.
having
so
me.
fun.
Yeah, I'm always down to bring you back on.
Yes, of course.
I'm talking to Madeline, and we are planning a third trivia night.
Ooh,
And
I
we
love
got
trivia.
that started. So that'll be fun. It'll be happening
Mhm.
the next week or so, I would say, when she gets back from
Okay.
Florida.
Yeah.
We just have to get it finalized. So that'll be fun. But as always, thank you guys for listening and streaming the Dream a Fantastic Dream podcast. If you guys could, please leave us a like and a review on Apple Podcasts. It really does help support the show. We just started our merch shop, which is really, really exciting. We are up to 11 different designs with over 600 combinations from clothing, phone cases, wallets, purses, you name it. We pretty much have it. And as well, the Discord. Can't forget that. There's a lot of really, really cool people in there, and it's just a really great time. So, as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and dream a fantastic dream.